Since the first blind level, David Sklansky had been the table's short stack. Now, with the blinds at 4 and 800 and only 6,600 in chips, it didn't take a math wizard to figure out he had to make a move quickly.
On that hand, I had Queen 10 of hearts. I made a small raise, and Chris and Andy both called me in the blinds.
That's just because they're clueless, not because they're stupid necessarily.
But it's in a conscious decision not to bother to try to notice.
Well, okay, that's true.
Flop came ace, queen, small. I believe there was one heart. And they both checked. I only had 5,000 left, and the pot was about 5,000. I made the decision to check on the flop with the idea that if there was a bet and a call from Andy and Chris, I could get rid of it. But if only one of them bet on the turn, I'd put them on a possible bluff and I'd put the rest of my money in. As it turned out, the fourth card made Chris a royal flush draw. So he bet 3,000.
Chris led out with his monster draw, and Andy got out of the way with 9 high.
But that card that made him a royal flush draw made me 3 queens, so it was an easy move in on my part. All in.
This is where I need to use math.
Chris was kidding, of course. It was only 2,000 to win almost 13,000 in the pot, and he would have called with just about any 2 cards.
Flush draw, spade.
I got a royal flush draw.
Yeah.
Chris was committed to the pot for 2,000 more, and he called me and made the straight on the end.
Ferguson hit his 11-outer on the river, making David Sklansky the first player eliminated.
I think I'm definitely more of a mathematical player than a field player or a player that's trying to read their opponents, you know, and play based on what they see in their opponents. I like to mix the two together. You definitely want to play a very sound game. And what a mathematical game is, it's one that your opponents are going to have a very hard time breaking down and a very hard time taking advantage of. Now, if you're playing a field and if you're trying to outguess your opponent, you're actually going to start playing a game that your opponents can take advantage of. If they know what you're doing. If they can signal to you that they're bluffing when they have a big hand, then you're in a lot of trouble if you're going to follow those patterns. So I like to have something I fall back on, and mathematics is what I fall back on. I have a very solid game I can play against everybody, anybody. Now, if I'm playing against someone who has tells, or someone who plays more predictably than other people, then I can actually get away from the mathematics and actually really start to take advantage of the mistakes my opponents are going to make, as opposed to just waiting for them to make mistakes.